Welcome everyone to Womanosity for women with curiosity like you and me and every woman I know. We rock this world and we do it because we're curious. If curiosity isn't the number one driver in the world for people, I don't know what is. And I have a wonderfully curious guest today, someone that I'm so excited about having in the studio with me. I've been waiting to interview her because her schedule is so full and she's so popular. Why? Because she's Parisa Fitz Henley, a remarkable actress, writer, and producer you've seen on both the big screen and on television. If you watched the 2018 television movie Harry and Meghan, A Royal Romance, you'll know that Parisa was chosen to play the part of Meghan Markle. The two of them could be twins. I don't think they needed much makeup to turn her into Meghan because they are both so strongly resembled. They're both strong women and they're also humanitarians who have both endured success and hardship, being multiracial and having to find their place in the world despite having a public life. And we're going to talk about that. You've also seen Parisa in the Marvel TV series Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And you'll recognize her because she played Reva Connors. Parisa also starred in two NBC dramas, Midnight Texas and the USA Netflix series called The Sinner, as well as major motion pictures like Fantasy Island and one of my favorite movies, My Spy. I love that film. More than all this, though, Parisa is known for her passion for the arts and sciences because it fuels her passion for spirituality and for the social development work that she's engaged in. And among her many, many talents, Parisa has a way of bringing together seemingly different people with different ideas, but when they come together, because she's a unifier, she finds a singular purpose that they can all get behind. We're going to talk about that and so many more topics today with this amazing, amazing woman. Welcome, Parisa Fitz Henley. It is so good to have you in studio with me.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you, and I'm honored that you see me in such a beautiful light. Thank you for that introduction.
Oh, Parisa, you know I'm a fan. Not to mention I've watched you for so many years and you're a lovely person and I'm so happy I know you. But I want my audience to know you too because it's so difficult sometimes for actresses or creatives who kind of get pigeonholed into one thing. Let's talk about though how you are a tremendously talented performer. You're not just an actress, you're a writer, you're a producer. Your energy is amazing. How do you think you developed your many, many talents?
I would say I was always encouraged to have, or at least allowed to have, a vivid imagination, and I read a lot. So I was able to see myself in a lot of different people, and the characters of the books that I read, whether they were fictional or nonfiction. There were ways that I was able to just imagine myself being that allowed me, I think, a path to follow and to feel like I might be able to do some of those things too. It hasn't been easy. I still struggle with it every day. It's somewhere inside of me is a belief that we are all more than we seem to be on the surface. And so just try to have the confidence and courage to keep pushing outwards.
Do you think that your background has a lot to do with this? I mean, I know you were born in Kingston, Jamaica. You started out as a model and you won Fashion Model of the Year in 1996 from the Pulse Modeling Agency. Then 10 years later, you were cast in a comedy movie called Fist in the Eye, and your public career was launched even further into the atmosphere. It seems like you were destined to be a celebrity. What made you decide to become a part of this highly competitive industry? What do you think other women need to know if they wish to pursue this career?
I think, going back to the background part of the question, my dad and mom actually both were teachers. So I think there was a natural curiosity about the world that they both displayed and an interest in people. They were both members of the Baha'i faith, which, for those who aren't familiar with it, is a faith that believes that there's one creator and that all of humanity is one family. And so I grew up also with this idea that all people were potentially family, that any of the lines that were drawn between us were artificial. That gave me, I think, some of the encouragement to step out into the world, seeing the world as partly mine, even while I can also acknowledge that there are boundaries that have been drawn that make things difficult for that. At my core, I felt like this world is a place I belong. So, just at a heart level, that helped me believe that I could step out and do some things. But then I thought I was going to be a doctor. I always wanted to be a doctor. I was always extremely interested in the way that the body worked. I became very interested in public health and how bodies work together in community. I went through a lot of stuff as a teenager where that included dropping out of high school. I got it in my mind that there was no way I could be a doctor at that point.
So is that when you became a model?
Yeah, so I was open to it. I was offered an opportunity to do the national competition in Jamaica. Did it, won a trip to Europe and New York and began modeling. But that was not a dream job of mine. It just was something that I thought I'll do this for a few years. And if it goes really well, I'll keep doing it. And if it does not go well, then I'll just move on to something else. It became a very steady job for me that allowed me to get to know a lot of different people, and then led to led to me walking onto a film set on accident once, and that's how I got my first acting job.
That was it? You walked onto a film set accidentally and you got cast in a film?
Yes. I was looking for a bathroom. I found one, and when I came out, they said they asked me if I would be willing to do this very simple scene, just reacting. There were no lines or anything because they needed someone for that day. A couple hours later, was in that scene, and when they said action, I had this like light bulb moment of this is what I want to do. That I've noticed.
That is the Hollywood story, I
You
tell you.
know?
And
And
so
funny
were you
enough,
smitten from that moment? Did you know then you liked acting?
it was the act of communal imagination, which
Hmm.
I realize is something now that's probably the hugest part of this that I love. It's not so much being captured by the camera, but the energy that's created when we imagine together, which is why like I am fed not just by acting with that, but also by writing and also by community work and just anywhere where you get people together and you're expanding the world through your collective consciousness.
I would so agree with that. Oh my gosh, that's been my experience too. So you went from modeling, accidentally getting discovered on a set, and then you've lived in South Africa, New York, Los Angeles, Florida. What gave you this larger view of the world?
So, I mean, my mother grew up in the northeastern United States. My father grew up in Jamaica. They were very, very different. There was a 17-year age difference. My mom grew up in a non-denominational Christian family. My dad grew up in a very conservative Christian family, and both of them became Baha'is. So they had these very different backgrounds and then found union in a faith that has a lot of space for individual expression and a faith that constantly talks about the world and the world being one country and mankind its citizens. And these things I think really contributed to me feeling like I want to go anywhere and I'd like to learn about everyone.
Travel is just the greatest thing, isn't it? And I always
Mhm.
encourage younger people, travel, try. You can't do enough of it because what it does show you is that the larger world is not that different than your own. We have
Yeah.
much more in common than we do in difference. I was so impressed when I learned how much time you spend working with youth around the world. And as soon as we come back from a break, I want to talk about some examples of the kind of workshops and gatherings that you do. Let's take a break. Parisa, name me a song you want to listen to right now.
Well, I'll tell you a song I always love listening to is Breaking My Heart by Mint Condition. It's also known as Pretty Brown Eyes.
Ooh, and you do have pretty brown eyes. We'll be right back, folks, to Womanosity for Women with Curiosity. This is Tadia Rice. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back with actress Parisa Fitz Henley.
Pretty brown eyes, you know I see you. It's a disguise, the way you treat me. You keep holding on to your thoughts of rejection. If you're with me, you're secure. You keep telling me that your time is always taken, but I keep seeing you out alone. Listen to love, your heart is pounding with desire, waiting to be unleashed. Quit breaking my heart, breaking my heart, yeah, breaking my heart, yeah, breaking my heart, sugar, yeah, yeah. Don't tell your friends that I don't mean nothing to you. Please don't deny the truth. Tell me right now, I know your heart is in the right place. No, I won't let you down, yeah, yeah. You can't disguise all the pounding of your heart, yeah. I see your eyes, and you can't hide. Start to make sense and quit playing these love games. Tell me what you're gonna do, yeah. Quit breaking my heart, yeah. I'm breaking my heart, yeah. Breaking my heart, ooh. Breaking my heart.
Womanosity is like a good cup of coffee with a new friend, somebody I'd never have a chance to meet. Sometimes it's a new idea or thinking about an old one in a new way. It's girlfriends. It's Tadia, and it's all good. This is American artist, writer, and girlfriend Jenny Cooley in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Mna ndingukhwezi futhi ucenenda and ndithanda ukumamela iWoman Radio ndizokufunda izinto ezintsha ndive nomculo omnandi. Iinkqubo zabo zimnandi kwaye zisebenzisa ingqondo. Ukusukela On the Couch to Womanosity, hlala kukho into emnandi yokumamela nemfundiso entsha. Ndithanda kakhulu ukuba ngummameli. Ndiyavuya ukuba nawe umamele.
Ich bin Leila Tavanaro Hedarian aus Wien und höre Woman Radio. Ich lerne so viel Interessantes von den Radiomoderatorinnen und liebe die Musik. Ich freue mich, dass ihr auch Woman Radio hört.
This is Barbara Nussbaum in Cape Town, South Africa. I love Woman Radio. I listen as often as I can. The music is wonderful and the guests are absolutely inspiring. I hope you're listening too.
My name is Anna Baryshnikova. I'm from Ukraine, and now I'm here in Women's Radio. Thank you so very much for inviting us to show the whole
We are
human
back,
world
friends.
about what's
Welcome.
happening in
Welcome
Ukraine
back
now,
to Womanosity
about
for Women
our
with
hopes and
Curiosity, like
dreams,
you and me and
about
my
our struggling
remarkable
and
guest,
suffering,
who I
about what
adore,
living and
Parisa
experienced
Fitz
people in
Henley,
Ukraine now. Thank you
actress,
so
writer,
very much.
producer.
Thank you so
And what a
much
lot of
to
people
Woman
don't
Radio
know
for
about is,
bringing
aside from being a
Womanosity to us
celebrity,
all. I
she
am
is
so
an
impressed.
avid
You are
anti-racism
allowing
activist
women of the
because
world
she
to have a
values all of
voice.
humanity
You
as
are
equal. She grew
allowing
up that
women
way.
to be
It's so
inspired by other
refreshing when
women.
someone in
Exciting,
Hollywood in
because
that
our
system
destiny
takes a
is
stand
still
and
unfolding.
focuses on
Thank you
equality for
so much.
all,
This is Sharon
eliminating
Baldoni
prejudice
from
of all
United
kinds,
States.
race, nation, religion, and political opinion. Parisa, can you explain why you feel so strongly about this very important social problem?
I had a lot of experiences as a child and still as an adult dealing with racism very directly, things that were really hurtful to me, things that I witnessed other people experiencing. There was a lot of pain that has driven my interest in this, but also a lot of hopefulness, because I would see people who on paper shouldn't have come together, still come together even despite themselves sometimes, because I do think the human heart is stronger than the head if it's allowed to be. And humans just want to be together for the most part. It's something that I've been passionate about throughout my life. But I've also seen many people in the public eye who are activists for many different causes. And so I feel really encouraged by my peers to be involved and to speak up for things when I can. If I could change the world, if I could only have one thing to do anyway, it would be to help everyone be more connected to truthfulness. It's one of the things that in my life has been the most important. I remember reading a quote once that said, truthfulness is the foundation of all human virtues. And it really struck me. If at our core, we're not aligned with truthfulness, with truth, whatever we build on top of that won't be solid. And so you could get rid of racism and it'll just be replaced by another ism. So looking at how to help people really be very affirmed in their spiritual qualities, being truly aligned with spirit would be the thing that I would change about the world, because then I think other things would just follow suit.
And then we would see each other as equals. I get it. I absolutely agree with you. Wow. Okay, now let's talk about what everyone wants to know. You wanted to play Meghan Markle in the television movie Harry and Meghan, A Royal Romance, and I watched it and it was wonderful and you were wonderful.
Thank you.
That was quite a responsibility, portraying such a public, living person. I mean, just such real life in your face news with them every day. I don't know that they had to do much makeup to make you two look alike, since you already do, but I really want to know, how was that experience?
Well, funny enough, they actually did do quite a bit of makeup, just very subtle things to play up our similarities and diminish our differences. The hair and makeup team on that movie were just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. I did want to play her. At least I never thought I would get the role. I just wanted to do an audition because I thought she was an interesting person, and I wanted to have a few hours of kind of investigating her in a sense, which is what I do when I prepare an audition. And then somewhat surprisingly, I kept moving forward in the process and eventually getting the job. It was a very interesting experience because I hadn't really followed much of the royal family before that. It was fascinating to see just what goes on behind the scenes and to see what it brings out in people. There was a huge focus on her becoming a princess when everything in her life showed me that that was not what was interesting to her. And so I would always be asked, "Oh, would you want to be a princess?" And I'm like, I don't think that was the point of any of this, actually. She's a woman in her late 30s. She was a person who had studied not just theatrical stuff, but other things that she had been engaged in, and was very interested in working for human rights. That was something that she'd already done. So this was an entrance into a different platform. It wasn't like an escape into a fairy tale, which I think a lot of people wanted it to be. And when we approached doing this project, it was to honor her and some of the sweetness that people are, felt about her, but to try to do it in as grounded a way as possible.
Well, you provided a wonderful portrayal. It was really an homage to her and to them as a couple. When you were working on Meghan and Harry, that project, several internet sites catapulted you into this information and that information, and it confused a lot of people, even me, because I would read or see a tabloid and it would say something about you that I thought, what? When did that happen? Do you want to clarify or end some of the myths that have been spoken, said, or printed about you? Like you met Harry and Meghan and you hang out with them and things
There are
like
so
that.
many things, anybody can say anything online, truly, and they do. And it's extremely easy to put things there and extremely difficult to have them removed. And that was one of the things that she's experienced on a massive scale. I had a little taste of that. I apparently was engaged to my co-star on that movie.
Oh.
I remember there was a front page of Star magazine said Meghan was having a sex scandal, but there was a picture of me. And I was like, that's not even her in the picture. It's a picture of me from the movie, us in a love scene, you know. And I just saw how readily people both created and consumed things that were not true. And so even to this day, I have articles about me that one article makes things up, the next article pulls from that article and adds their own things. And there's things written about me and my family that are absolutely unrecognizable to my real life, but they seem real because they're quote unquote in print.
Yeah, it's terrible. I know. And you're not married and you're not widowed and you don't have four
Kids.
children and all these things that they make up. Oh my goodness. It is really, that is the price of celebrity. There's just so much intrusion and you lose your personal space and your life and well, what are you writing your story now? Are you going to tell your own story? Are you writing any songs or poetry or your biography?
I write songs. It's been a while since I sat down and wrote diligently my songs, but I have also been writing screenplays. My hope is to get at least one show on the air. I do have a few of them up my sleeve right now, so we'll see what happens with that. I like writing my own story, and I do think the tabloid type stuff is sort of the price of admission, but it's also something that we do to each other on an individual basis all the time. People gossip about each other always. And it's like that telephone game. The more people that are told something, the more skewed the story gets. It's just on a larger platform, we have this opportunity to look and go, wow, that can be really harmful. Maybe I shouldn't even do it in my own life. I hope that that's something that
Yeah, the internet has proven to be a remarkable advancement for our world, and at the same time can be just as detrimental when it's misused, and that's what happens. So you're a musician too. Oh my God, what is it? Do you do brain surgery, and are you an astronaut as well? Oh my
I
God.
can
People,
act as a brain surgeon
oh,
and
you,
uh,
you can.
and I
You
can play
can.
about 2 songs on a guitar. When I say without a guitar, I'm actually talking about my bandmate who plays the guitar
I
with
see.
me.
Okay. What is this about a band? And if so, let's play something. What?
Sure. So Paul Freeman and I have a band called Would Be Royals. There's a song I'll share with you called Shouting It Out, the first song that we wrote together, and I really love it. This is a bit of a rough version of it, but I hope you'll enjoy it.
Wonderful. Let's take a listen, and friends, we'll be right back with actress extraordinaire Parisa Fitz Henley. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Tadia Rice on Womanosity for Women with Curiosity on Woman Radio, broadcasting 24/7 around our beautiful earth. Don't go away.
At 16 I was half alive. I chased the dark, but I love the lights. You and my guitar for company. And I'd have followed you anywhere. Drunk on you, I didn't care. All I wanted was you to want me. Round and round, up we go. Every town was home. We were shouting it out so the people in the back could hear us singing. We were shouting it out. Whoa. Dotted lines, open skies. There's nowhere we can go. We were shouting it out so the people in the back could hear us singing. We were shouting it out. Oh, 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 oh. sipping, just keep sipping, just keep sipping, just keep sipping, just keep sipping. You can feel your head, but it just keeps sipping. All I wanted was you to want me.
Hi, I'm Onke Dumeko, also known as Forever Onke. I absolutely love women radio, and my favorite show is definitely Tadia Rice's Womenosity. It is so inspirational, and I always get just the boost that I need in life to continue. We all need the type of content that can really push us to the max and really get us going through the next day. Fabulous station, fabulous show. I love it.
Hello, hi, muraho, mwaramutse, mumeze mute. My name is Hope Azeda. I'm an artist from Kigali, Rwanda. You are listening to Woman Radio. I am listening to. Welcome, Murakazanese.
I'm Brenda Sisani, a journalist from South Africa, and I'm very excited to be on Womanosity for Women with Curiosity. Congratulations to you, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, for starting the station that brings women together to talk about it.
This is Almaz Crow in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, listening to Woman Radio for great interviews and wonderful music. It's important that people come together, and Woman Radio does that, especially for women. Women, let's unite. We gotta take over this world. While I listen to Women Radio, and I hope you do too.
Moshavi, my name is Kerishi Tendero from Namibia, and you are listening to Womana Radio for well-organized men. I'm listening to.
Hi, I'm Disero Mamabulo from Light of Africa, South Africa in Pretoria. I listen to Women Radio when I want to learn new things or hear new music. The shows are always stimulating from on the couch to womanicity. There is always something interesting or inspirational. I'm glad you are listening too.
Welcome back, friends. I'm so happy you're with me today on Womanosity for Women with Curiosity. During the break, you heard Parisa's song, Shouting It Out, and I asked her if she named the band after she played Meghan Markle, and she said no. They had actually created this band called Would Be Royals before she ever even knew that would be in her life. I thought that was so interesting. I just wanted to share it with you. So, Parisa, welcome back. I need to ask you, who are your models of inspiration? You know, your heroes, Shiro. And
My
why?
heroes. There's so many people that give me inspiration. I think about Viola Davis, Meryl Streep. I love actors who just seem to vibrate with life. I think about Abdul Baha, who is an important figure in the Baha'i faith, who I think about very often, in particular, as a moral and social example. And my mom, who is just constantly curious and constantly loving. It's been a huge influence in my life.
Oh, that is wonderful. Yeah, so your mom is one of your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think that you will be able to do for women? What do you hope to do for women by being a successful mentor and example to others?
I hope that I can help women break free from so much of the bondage that we've inherited, the things that we've been taught we couldn't do or that weren't valuable about us. I would love to help us move past that and also move into the mystery of what we haven't even had a chance to discover yet. I would love to help women feel free.
Feel free to
everything.
Find their true capabilities, to discover talents.
All of it. To make mistakes, to say no, to say yes. I think we're just so often, and this seems pretty global in my experience as well, we're taught to be small, we're taught to be supportive, we're taught to be resilient in the face of injustice. And these are not necessarily bad things, but they're not helpful if they're the only things we're supposed to do. Also being able to fight injustice and create situations of justice, and also being able to say no to things that we're uncomfortable about, or to feel like our opinions and contributions really matter and are necessary, that we're not just being brought into something because we haven't been there, but that we're being brought in because our contributions will make things better. I really want to see us have more and more of that. And I think it's happening more and more every day as we also learn to encourage each other more and turn within for our strength, rather than always kind of looking to, in particular, the masculine in society to give us space or a validation.
That is so true. I'm going to assume that this is a great deal of what you teach to the youth that you work with, at least the girls. Do you teach the boys the same thing? Matter of fact, tell me, what do your workshops look like when you work with young people? How old are they? What do you focus on?
I've done a number of different kinds of encounters with young people, from elementary school age, so 5 to 10-year-olds, to middle school, high school age, and sometimes college as well. And we talk about different things. That the most important thing to me is to be authentic with them, and to value them, because it's very easy, and I find myself doing this habitually too, to think, oh, you're a blank slate and you need my input, instead of going, wait a minute, you're someone who has access to a fount of knowledge. You can meditate and pray and draw from the depths of, the world of the spirit just as easily as I can, if not more easily. So I should actually listen to you. What I have been talking quite a bit about in the last couple of years is the issue that the United States is dealing with race and racism, and gender is one of the things that's come up as well. So for me, it's just very important to affirm their humanity, to affirm their greatness, to try to be humble about where we're at in the world, and not present things like, oh, adults really know all the things, and here, let me catch you up, because we don't. Obviously, if we did, the world would be a lot nicer to live in right now, and it's not, because we keep repeating things from the past. So encouraging young people to look to the future and to trust themselves is something I do try to do, and also to really allow them to question things, to think outside the box.
What are they most curious about when they talk to you?
It depends, because each of them has their own stuff. I know one of the things that has come up recently is about the relationship between spirituality and the creation of art. That I've had several conversations with teenagers recently about this, teenagers and people in their early 20s. There's this idea that Hollywood is a super corrupt place, and that acting and filmmaking are corrupt jobs, and there is no spirit to be found in them. So if you are a person who wants to be moral and spiritual, then you have to do that on the side. And I think that's wrong. I think there's no place in existence that spirit can't be, or that spirit is not. The only way we get out of spirit being in something is to pretend that it's not there. So there is a lot of that pretending in my industry, but I think anywhere where you find a lot of money, you find people pretending that spirit is not there. If we allow it to be, if we really acknowledge it, we can find tremendous spiritual lessons and opportunities in everything, including what I do. And that's one of the things that there's been a lot of curiosity about. And it's been a real joy to be able to encourage people to say, like, hey, doing an action scene is not inherently non-spiritual. Doing a sex scene is not inherently non-spiritual. We have to see beyond these limitations and look at the real meaning behind what we're doing. Anything can be gratuitous, even spiritual stuff, religious stuff. You can do it in a way that is cynical and surface only. And when we look at the sources of the religions of the world, we're looking at, just thinking of Jesus Christ, for example, this humility and nothing presentational, all intimate, all organic, and has inspired people for thousands of years. So I think that we can all aspire to that kind of beingness wherever we are and whatever we're doing. And that is something I love talking with young people about.
Oh, that is very interesting and very deep. That's something you should be talking to adults about as well, I think.
With our crusty old brains. No, well, the young folks are very, very into it. And they're very curious. And often they've struggled because in trying to keep them safe, their parents and the adults around them often say things like, just stay away from X, Y, and Z entirely. And, their spirits are drawn to those things because there is an opportunity for expression and there is an opportunity for greater understanding of the world, but not if they are told, just stay away from this thing, instead of being told, well, how can you approach it in a way that's aligned and authentic?
Very, very good advice. You know what? Let's take another break. I'm sorry we have to do that, but we want Woman Radio to be promoted. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be right back, folks, with actress Parisa Fitz Henley and deep talk here. Deep, and it's going to get deeper, but we're going to get fun too. So hang in. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
No man is an island. Ladies, let's open up and discuss issues, whether good or bad. Platforms are there. Woman Radio happens to be just one of them. I'm inviting you on the couch to further discuss areas of concern every Thursday from 10 a.m. South African time to 12 noon. On the couch with me, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, here on Woman Radio, well-organized men, for we are.
Meet me at the party on the couch.
Hi, I am Dr. Sia. Please catch me every Monday at 7 o'clock in the evening on Woman Radio, where I will be talking about breaking free from trauma, from everything that is holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself. Woman Radio, well-organized man, for we are.
Ni hao. I'm Steve Bergadine from China. You're listening to Woman Radio for well-organized men. I'm listening to...
Hi, everyone. This is Shireen Janti, Senior Director at Music Cares of the Recording Academy, otherwise known as the Grammys. I love this radio station. I love this talk. Woman Radio helps give women the voice they need, and I thank them for supporting women. I'm listening to Woman Radio, and I hope you are too.
My name is Anna Baryshnikova. I'm from Ukraine, and now I'm here in Women's Radio. Thank you so very much to show the whole woman world about our hopes and dreams, about our struggling and suffering, about what's feeling and experience people of Ukraine now. Thank you so very much.
Welcome back, folks, to Womanosity for Women with Curiosity. I'm Tadia Rice, your host. Happy to be here every week with you. And today, my wonderful, wonderful, remarkably talented, and exceptionally beautiful guest, Parisa Fitz Henley, actress, celebrity, Hollywood maven who is really changing the industry in her own way. It's quite impressive. So, Parisa, I want to know, and I suspect my audience does too, how would you describe the way you walk in the world?
Ooh. I walk in the world, I think, with a lot of curiosity, with belief. I believe in God. I believe that whatever name there is for that, whether it's God or spirit or creator, I believe that is within us and around us, and something that we can always in a sense become closer to. And so I look for that
That's a nice way to walk in the world, girl. That's
Also with a lot of silliness. A lot of silliness and many mistakes.
we've got to let our kids out, you know. We just have to let our child roam at times because life gets very heavy. So let me ask you this. What would you tell your younger self, your 15-year-old Parisa self about love, life, and purpose?
Ooh. I mean, first, I think I would just hold her. 15 was a rough year. I would love to look into her eyes and just tell her over and over how much I love her and encourage her to receive it. When someone gives you praise or a compliment or just acknowledges something good about you, to say, instead of what I was taught, which is no, you, or oh, that's not true, or to say, I receive that, or thank you for seeing me that way, or thank you for seeing that in me. I've found that helps me to open my heart up, and I would love to have had 30 years of that and not to have learned that at such a late stage. I would love to go back to that 15-year-old and be like, let's look at where we can receive love.
That is such a good suggestion. Say it again. What are the things we can say to people when we receive a compliment?
I received that, or thank you for seeing me that way, or thank you for seeing that in me.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Those were game changers.
They really are because, I mean, mostly we do what you said, which is no, not really. Or then we might say, oh, okay, thank you, and diminish ourselves with a diminished thank you. That I really like those. Ooh, I like those comments.
So and they take practice because it can feel uncomfortable at first. But even practicing saying I receive that when someone says I love you it's a whole different feeling than just going, I love you too.
Absolutely. So Parisa, what would you say is your biggest achievement to date?
I think staying tenderhearted. If anything, I've stayed somewhat pliable and somewhat open-hearted.
You really do have to be strong in this industry, don't you? Because you're judged every moment of everything that you do. And that's the public life. The fame might come, the money might come, the adulation might come, but you just have to know who you really are and not let any of that knock you off your log.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Oh, Parisa, do you hear that music?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, you know what time it is?
Is it game time?
It is. It's the Womanosity 25 questions in 2 minutes speed round. Do you think you can play?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too. After playing Meghan Markle, I think you could probably do anything. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here, the clock is ticking. I hear it ticking. Okay, what color or flavor is your favorite M&M candy?
Brown.
Okay, are you a cat or a dog person?
Dog.
Would you rather eat chocolate or watch your favorite TV show?
Both.
What's one city or country you've always dreamed of traveling to?
Venice, Italy.
Are you a morning or night person?
Both.
How? Do you sleep?
I do, but I like them both.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what words do you live by?
Truthfulness is the foundation of all human virtues.
That's so nice. What's one vice you wish you could give up?
Procrastination.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
My mom telling me she appreciates my tender heart.
Oh, that is so nice. Okay, so how do you start your day?
The first thing I do usually is I say Allahu Abha, which means God is most glorious in Arabic, and that's a Baha'i practice on waking.
And when are you most inspired?
When people are lit up by something, when people are doing something joyful, I am very moved.
Food, sweet or savory?
Both.
You're a lot of both, aren't you?
I'm a lot of both.
What makes you smile the most, Parisa?
Babies.
Oh, it's true. What's one thing people don't know about you?
Ooh, I love viruses. I may have said that in an interview before, but it's one thing that most people don't know about me. I find them fascinating.
You love viruses?
Viruses and the study of, like, I love the study of infectious disease.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would have never known that about you. And now I see why you wanted to be a doctor. Okay, I got it. All right. So heels, flats, or sneakers?
Sneakers.
What's inspiring you in life right now?
Other people's spiritual searches.
What's the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
Moving to Europe as a teenager.
Oh, how would you define yourself in 3 words?
Fun.
Are you sure?
No, that's what the hopeful was for. I also hope I'm fun. And sincere.
Okay, one more word. Fun, sincere, and
hopeful.
Hopeful. Okay. All right, diamonds or pearls?
Diamonds.
What's something you notice about someone when you first meet them?
I'm one of those people that kind of takes in everybody, like the whole thing. What is something I notice? It's usually their eyes.
That's not uncommon. What's the one talent you wish you had? Although I can't imagine that you don't already have. But what's the one talent you wish you had?
I wish I had the talent of being unself-conscious.
Of being unself-conscious.
Yes.
Okay.
I get very nervous sometimes performing even. So I wish I was one of those folks who was like, oh, is this a stage? Let me get on it.
Gosh, I didn't know anybody just does that. I think, well, I guess it differs with everybody else. What's your favorite color, Parisa?
I love a red-orange kind of coral, deep coral color.
And what color of clothing do you wear the most?
Black. Figure
that out. What's the cutest thing on planet Earth?
My niece and nephew combined.
Oh, of course. And what's the best thing that happened to you this year?
Oh, hard. My birthday, which was like a week and a half ago, everything since then has just been, I've just received a lot of love. And it's often hard for me to receive birthday love. So I'm receiving it. So I would say that's probably the best thing so far.
Well, happy belated birthday. Oh my goodness. How
Wait
wonderful.
a minute. Now I just realized though, like what's the actual best thing?
Oh, okay. What's the best thing?
The best thing that happened to me this year was getting to help my nephew be born.
Oh,
that was epic. I got to help with the labor and then to be in the room when he was born and see his little head starting to come out and
so you had a delivery, isn't it? It is a miracle, I tell you, isn't it though? So you got to do a little bit of doctoring.
A little bit. I was being a doula.
Well, happy birthday to you. What's your favorite song? I'd love to close the show with your favorite song.
It's hard to pick one, but the one that keeps coming to my mind lately is Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin.
Well, we're going to play that in honor of you, Parisa Fitz Henley, and your recent birthday, and giving the time to us today. I know you are busy, and your star has risen, and it is shining brighter and greater with every day. It is truly an honor to have you on Womanosity for Women with Curiosity on Woman Radio. We love it. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you. It's an honor to be with you, and you've been so wonderful for my heart. Thank you. And thanks to everybody. I wish I could see everyone that's listening, but wishing everybody all the very best.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin.
This is a song that was inspired by a speech that Martin Luther King made, his last speech that he made, the Up to the Mountain speech, and that's the name of the song. It goes like this. I went up to the mountain because you asked me to. Up over the clouds to where the sky was blue. I could see all around me, everywhere. I could see all around me, everywhere. Sometimes I feel like I never been nothing but tired, and I'll be working till the day I expire. Sometimes I lay down, no more can I do. Then I go on again, because you asked me to. Some days I look down, afraid I will fall, and though the sun shines, I see nothing. Oh, and I hear your sweet voice. Oh, come and then go, come and then go, telling me softly, you love me so. The peaceful valley, just over the mountain. The peaceful valley, if you come to know, I may never get there ever in this lifetime, but soon or later there I will go. Or sooner or later there I will go. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with me today on Womanosity for Women with Curiosity, broadcasting globally on Woman Radio. Enjoy great interviews with remarkable women and music from around the world. Join me, won't you?